One Focus Radio.
Welcome to the show, it's Dyer's Daily. Keeping in the know, it's Dyer's Daily. We've got chat, we've got discussion, nice and slow, ain't no rushing, reading emails and events. Sometimes he makes no sense. It's time to start the show, it's Dyer's Daily. He'll be there in a mo, it's Dyer's Daily. We've got plays, we've got interviews, even stuff that's in the news. Local and otherwise, come and try it on for size, it's Dyer's Daily.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Dyer's Daily for Wednesday, the 12th of December 2018. My name's Jamie Dyer. Please join me for the next 10 minutes as we take a look at the new thing, Spotify Wrapped. This new thing that's come on the scene. Find out more about that in just a moment, but first, let's have a word from some other podcasts that are out there. Okay guys, take it away right now.
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what this Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage since you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode we take a look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how all these games work, or you know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
So yeah, so it'll be like, I'll be like, hey, and then you guys will be like, hi.
Wait, is my
Like,
headphones plugged
and I'll be
in?
like, we are the Drunk Detectives.
Mm-hmm. Meat
All
and
right.
potatoes.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hi. Hi.
we are the Drunk Detectives. We are a true crime comedy podcast.
So we're funny. Sometimes.
So we pair handcrafted signature cocktails with cold, bloody, unsolved murder. We release a new episode every Sunday, and you can find us on the Apple Podcast app, on Google Play Music, Stitcher Radio, and Radio Public. Or you can follow us at www.thedrunkdetectives.com.
Bye.
Dyer's Daily.
Well, dear listener, in my search to find new content for every day, I think I've stumbled upon something rather interesting. And right now, for your listening pleasure, I'm going to introduce this new thing, right? So there's this thing called SpotifyWrapped.com. Now, this thing actually calculates all your Spotify data over the last 12 months and tells you all your stats and facts and figures and stuff. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to reveal what my stats were to you? Because to be honest, this is my, that's my personal music taste. And also, I think it pretty much tells you how reliant we must be on this streaming platform now. And the fact is, they're always calculating how far and how much you're consuming, which is quite a scary thing. So I've done this Spotify Wrapped thing, I've connected it to my account, and I can tell you, according to this, the first song I listened to of 2018 was It's an Illusion by Roger Taylor, which is an album track from the 80s. And the reason is because the reason I listened to it was because Rick Parfitt, one of my favourite guitarists of all time, is a guest on it. So that was the first song I listened to in 2018. If we go onwards, it said, guess how many minutes you spent listening this year. It's given me three options: 5,008, 7,429, 4,209. Now, sense would tell me it's the highest number. Okay, which I'm correct. 7,429 minutes. And it says to me here, those are minutes you'll never get back. But then again, why would you want to? Well, I have to say, while I'm doing this stuff, while I'm normally listening to something like Spotify, I am doing something in the background. So it's kind of background for most people. So you're technically not listening for all that time, are you? It's just sort of in the background. It says here my top artist is a guy called Dave Edmunds. I'm a huge fan of Dave Edmunds. It said you spent 21 hours with your favourite artist, Dave Edmunds, and the pleasure was all theirs. I know, it's really nice. Mainly because I like the rhythm of his music. I like his interpretation of older songs. And yeah, so this is interesting. We're halfway through here. So as we go into this Spotify Wrapped thing, it says that the top artist, of course, was Dave Edmunds, followed by Status Quo, Ricky Nelson, Chuck Berry, Jerry Reed. My top songs include Alabama Wild Man by Jerry Reed, Feels So Right by Dave Edmunds, 5 Minutes More by Ricky Nelson, Stay Young by Ricky Nelson. I would imagine that's the version that I would do, and also Don't Call Me Tonight by Dave Edmunds. So it's really interesting. This is probably of no interest to anybody else, but I think it's really interesting that we have this kind of consume it and throw it away mentality, whereas obviously these are songs over the course of the last 12 months that I have been listening to probably non-stop, and I haven't even realised it. So Spotify has also compiled a top 100 songs, which I'm not going to bore you with one by one, but I think it's really interesting. And I also think that in a year where Facebook privacy has come under wraps, the fact that Spotify logs all of this stuff, but I guess it has to, because all of these songs plays count towards the chart. So if, for example, we had Jerry Reed's Alabama Wild Man and 500,000 people streamed it tomorrow, it would probably end up in a chart somewhere, which of course they'd have to track your data. So although it seems like, oh no, how do they have this data, there will be loads of people that will go in and not think twice about it, because really, is it really that much of an issue? It's only music. It's not like it's personal information. You know, it's music that's available to everybody. Although, to be honest, some of my choices might not necessarily be seen as credible, or you might hate all of the things that I've said in regards to my musical taste. But that is a personal thing, but it's available to everybody. You know, it's there. Does it harm me that I love Dave Edmunds? Not particularly. I mean, I've got my own thing here. I mean, I have to say, I am a little bit freaked out by the fact that one of my top 100, as written here, is me. Because about 5 years ago, I released a song onto iTunes, and I think earlier this year I checked to see if it was still on Spotify and listened to it to make sure it was still working. So therefore, it's put it in my top 100, possibly top 50, which is a very scary thing, considering that actually some of the songs in the lower end of my top 100 are songs that I've recently started listening to. So it's all very interesting. I always find this data collection stuff when it comes to music and media really interesting. Like when they people like Spotify, people like Netflix don't tell you what their figures are, do they? They don't say how many people streamed this or viewed this. I mean, for all we know, it's probably about 5, but judging by the trending stuff on Twitter and the big promotions and the millions spent on producing this stuff, it's probably a little bit more than that. But you do wonder why they don't put themselves in a position of telling you just how many people are consuming this stuff, because I guess they don't want to frighten the TV audience, and I guess revealing what the numbers were officially there right in front of you would probably have some kind of competition problem. I don't know. But this Spotify Unwrapped thing, I hope that this isn't some kind of this Spotify Wrapped thing. I hope it's not some kind of weird thing later, like I've put it in now, and it's it's going to cause problems. Who knows? Who knows with this thing? By the way, it also says about my oldest song, which I'm not going to tell you. I'll probably leave it till the next podcast. This one has been pretty rambly, but then isn't it always? Thank you very much for listening to Dyer's Daily. Please remember to rate, comment and subscribe on your favourite podcast provider. My name's Jamie Dyer, and I shall see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great day. Or as Tony the Tiger used to say, have a great day. And I shall see you on the next podcast. Bye-bye.